Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Super Grognard, and today we are looking at another Alexa game. Today we're looking at Starfinder. I believe this game's been out for about a year. It's got 4.5 out of 5 stars, and let me check real quickly. Over 700 ratings so far, so it's doing pretty good. It claims to have voice talent from Audible that worked on Firefly and The Last of Us 2 PlayStation game, and it's supposed to be a captivating interactive audio adventure. I think I played this when it first came out, and again, I don't remember it anymore, so I want to go back and check it out. Echo, open Starfinder.
You've disabled Starfinder in the past. Do you want to enable it again?
Yes.
Okay, here's Starfinder.
Starfinder. Starfinder is a science fantasy role-playing game that puts you in the role of a bold outer space adventurer, exploring the mysteries of a weird and magical universe. Through the decisions you make, your character will grow in wealth and skill, or meet a grisly end.
A weird and magical universe?
You know, I don't think these guys like us very much.
Your best friend, Raya Danviri, crouches next to you behind a large metal crate in one of the many dark alleys of The Spike, Absalom Station's gritty underbelly. From across the street, a pack of small-time gangsters blasts away at you, their aim as wild as their outfits. The thugs ambushed you after taking issue with the informal security services you've been providing in your neighborhood. Seem intent on removing you from their turf by any means. Raya looks to you.
Okay, so I'm an academic, not a mercenary. What's our play?
Let's pick your character. Are you someone who solves problems with force? Or do you look for creative solutions?
Creative solutions.
Okay. Do you use your charismatic personality to talk your way out? Or do you have magical powers?
Charismatic personality, I'd say.
Raya notices your smile and eyes you nervously.
Oh no, you've got that look.
You raise your hands in surrender and step confidently out from cover. The startled thugs hold their fire. Head high, you walk directly toward the gray-skinned half-orc who seems to be leading this crew.
Orc?
You politely identify yourself as Lieutenant Navasi of Absalom Station Security.
Orc?
Undercover Division.
I thought we were in outer space.
You were down here as part of a sting on a much larger gang, but since they insist on making themselves a nuisance, the gangsters look nervously at each other. Raya's telepathic voice pops into your head.
Okay, now I get it. Hold on, I've got just the spell.
At the far end of the alley, the telltale flashing lights of station security suddenly dance through the air, the sounds of sirens and shouts echoing off the walls. That does it. The gangsters panic, fleeing the other way down the alley. When they're gone, Raya emerges and strolls up beside you.
I can't believe that worked. You, a former pirate, as station security? Please. Now come on, let's get out of here before they realize those sirens are just an illusion spell.
You are Navasi, a quick-witted scoundrel who specializes in diplomacy and strategy. Raised to be a wealthy socialite on Absalom Station, you instead ran away to become a space pirate, but quickly realized that most other outlaws didn't share your deep sense of honor and justice. You left the pirate life behind and instead became a freelance adventurer.
All right.
Talking your way into trouble and ready to take on any challenge if the price is right.
Okay, I got
The
it.
cause is just.
Let's go. Stop delaying.
Would you like to play as Navasi?
I don't know. What happens if I say no?
I don't think I heard you right. Would you like to play as Navasi?
No? What happens if I say no? Why would you ask me that question? I already did the personality quiz.
Sorry, I don't think I heard you right.
Fuck it.
Would you like to play as Navasi?
Yes.
Progress saved.
Dead Sons. Episode 0. Scoundrels in the Spike. Estimated playtime, 30 minutes.
It's convenient to tell me that. Thank you.
Eager to put some distance between yourselves and the thugs you just bested, you make your way toward the crowded market corridors of Down Low. This neighborhood is the largest and safest in the Spike.
Let's rob
which
it.
Isn't saying much.
Let's rob it.
Curious hipsters from richer districts rub shoulders with locals at dive bars,
Hate
black
hipsters.
markets, and restaurants featuring cuisine from dozens of alien worlds. Raya discreetly scans the crowd for trouble.
I hope those gangsters are smart enough to let things be.
The countless computers and technological bits strapped to her trademark trench coat mark her as a technomancer. A magical hacker who blends spells and technology.
Right.
I mean, I welcome the excitement. I just wish we could direct our efforts towards something greater.
Uh-huh. Like playing a game?
Your comm unit lights up, attracting your attention.
Navasi, you have a message from the Starfinder
I don't
Society.
like my name.
The Starfinder Society is a league of adventurers dedicated to interstellar exploration, making contact with strange new cultures and piecing together the galaxy's mysterious history. You and Raya signed up last week, in hopes that they'll be your ticket to bigger and better things. This is the call you've been waiting for.
Do you play the message?
I have been waiting. No, I'm not going to play the message.
Do you play the message?
Nope, I don't. I do not play that message, no.
I don't think I heard you right. Do you play the message?
No.
What are you waiting for? This could be it.
A spark jumps from her fingertip to your comm unit, and the message starts playing.
Oh, okay, an empty choice. Thanks.
Greetings. This is
Fucking
Starfinder
hate those.
Tiskus from the Society's headquarters. I have a bit of an unusual first mission. Someone's been tearing up corridors in your sector of the Spike and reportedly taking potshots at station technicians sent to make repairs. Station security would normally handle this sort of thing, but they've got their manipulators full with some sort of gang scuffle. They've asked us to help out, and since it's your home turf, we're sending you and Raya. I'm transmitting the coordinates. The Society will pay you each 250 credits for clearing the area.
Raya grins at you. Like all Lashuntas, she has 2 forehead antennae that grant her limited telepathic powers,
Hot.
and they're currently vibrating with excitement.
Fucking really hot.
Finally, a chance to prove ourselves to the Society. Can you imagine it? You and me exploring the universe as Starfinders?
I've got an antenna.
Oh, I am ready to roll. Do you have what you need?
Try asking me, what do I have?
What do you have?
You have the following items: 2 fragmentation
no,
grenades,
no.
tactical baton, laser
Okay,
pistol,
inventory
second skin,
system.
and 2 healing serums. You can ask about your inventory or hear more about a specific item at any time. For example, try asking me, what is second skin?
What is in my inventory?
You have the following items: 2
Gotta write it down.
fragmentation grenades,
Frag,
tactical baton, laser
tactical,
pistol, second
laser.
skin, and 2 healing serums.
Healing.
You can ask about your inventory or hear more about a specific item
Fragment,
at any time.
Tactical something.
For example, try
laser,
asking me,
gun,
what is second skin?
Second skin. What is a frag grenade? I think I know.
Fragmentation grenades deal 1d6 kinetic damage with a 15-foot blast radius.
Sounds like we're good to go. Let's head to the coordinates.
Hey, hold on. I was looking in my inventory. Where are we going? Excuse me. Fuck it.
You catch a ride on a maglev train, leading down deeper into the spike. As you ride along in the cramped carriage, squashed between a bug-faced Sheeran and a four-armed Kasatha,
I'll tell you who's going to
you
need a
look out
spike.
the window
It's
at
me.
neighborhoods even shabbier than your own. You may be local, but you still know better than to go all the way down to the ghost levels. Fortunately, this job will only take you to the edge of Pipetown. You get off at your stop, and the
Spikes
crowd
and
quickly
pipes.
thins.
See
By
why
the time
they,
you reach the access corridor, the coordinates specified, you're alone. Or almost alone. As you approach the hallway entrance, a human worker in coveralls stumbles out, holding a bloody gash on his head. He limps towards you.
Oh, gods protect me, my head.
Use frag grenade
Ow.
on this guy.
What do you say to the injured worker?
Frag grenade.
Trying to make a good impression or convince someone to do something requires an interaction skill check.
Time to test your aptitude for interaction.
Oh, come
The
on.
interaction skill represents your ability to navigate social situations and bluff, intimidate, or win over individuals.
Jesus Christ.
Roll one 20-sided die for
No,
interaction
I'm not
check
rolling
and tell me
fucking
what you get.
dice.
Or ask me to roll for you.
Roll for me.
Okay, I'll roll for you. If you change your mind,
Do
just say I'll
not
roll
make
my
me
own
roll
dice.
dice, please, for the love of
Rolling
fucking
for
God.
interaction check. 18 plus 1 interaction bonus from
Right,
Raya is
okay,
19.
great. Number crunching time.
What happened?
Just
I'll
lost
tell
me.
you what happened. A dang goblin clocked me over the head with a dang pipe.
Christ.
An automated alert had told me the area was temporarily off limits, but I've got a job to do, you know? Well, next thing I know, this little pointy-eared mongrel leaps out and attacks me. Ugh. Oh,
Quirky.
now I'm left with a splitting headache.
Ouch. He looks like he could use a healing serum.
Do
Looks
you
like
try
he
to
could
help
use
the
a
worker by
frag
giving him a
grenade.
healing serum?
Yes, give him the healing serum. Okay, I'm just gonna do what they want for a while.
The worker eyes you suspiciously,
Guess I lost
but
a
takes
healing
the
potion.
offered healing serum and drinks it. Immediately, the gash on his head knits shut. His eyes widen, and he smiles.
Hey, that's right decent of you. I thought I'd have a headache for weeks.
You're not coming with me.
You don't look like those slackers in station security. But if you're here to take out that trash, then you've got my thanks twice over. And listen, since you were kind enough to offer me your serum here, take my radiation buffer. The other techs and I use them. It won't protect you completely, but it'll give you a better chance of making it through if you run into a hot zone. Good luck in there.
Okay,
He claps you on the shoulder and heads off down the corridor, whistling happily.
bye-bye.
One healing serum removed from inventory.
Uh-huh, I heard
Radiation
that.
buffer added to inventory.
Got it. Right.
Congratulations. You earned the Friend of the People award for giving the worker a healing serum. Keep playing to discover more awards.
The corridor specified by the coordinates is an access tunnel branching off from the main passage, dimly lit by flickering emergency lighting. Conduits of all sizes, the sort that give this neighborhood the name Pipetown, run along the sides of the walls, carrying the various substances that keep the space station running. Some of the cables have been broken and stripped,
Substances?
and small amounts of gas vent from dented pipes. Raya curls her antennae in disgust.
No wonder maintenance wanted to get in here. What kind of idiot vandalizes their own space station?
The corridor is only wide enough for one person at a time.
I'm an academic, not a scout. Want to take the lead?
Do you take the lead?
Tell me about my inventory, please.
Inventory report. 2 fragmentation grenades, tactical baton, laser pistol, second skin, healing serum, and radiation buffer.
I have to write all this shit down.
The corridor specified by the
I
coordinates
did not say
is an
go
access
forward.
tunnel branching off from the main passage, dimly lit by flickering emergency lighting.
Come on.
Conduits of all sizes, the sort that give this neighborhood the name Pipe Town, run along the sides of the walls, carrying the various substances that
Okay,
keep the space
Echo.
station running.
Tell me about tactical baton.
This modern update to the club is solid metal and 2 to 3 feet long, with a rubber handle and a loop to make it easy to hang from a belt to a wrist. The tactical baton is a common emergency melee weapon and is often carried by city police and private security forces. It deals 1d4 kinetic damage to enemies within arm's reach.
Echo, tell me about my laser gun.
I don't think I heard you right. Do you take the lead?
Tell me about the laser in inventory.
Inventory report: 2 fragmentation grenades, tactical baton, laser pistol, second skin,
Laser
healing
pistol.
serum, and radiation buffer.
Echo, tell me about the laser pistol.
A laser pistol fires a beam of coherent light that can burn through targets. It is among the most common sidearms. It deals 1d4 fire damage with a range of 90 feet.
1d4. Okay, Echo, tell me about second skin.
Second skin is little more than a skin-tight bodysuit that offers minimal protection from harm, while including all the environmental protections and basic functions of armor needed to survive in space. It is light armor and provides +1 to armor class.
+1 AC.
The
Right.
corridor specified by the coordinates
Echo,
is an access.
tell me about radiation buffer.
This small electronic module plugs into a slot in your armor and grants you +2 bonus on saves against radiation effects whenever it's in your inventory.
The corridor specified by the coordinates
Echo,
is
skip.
an access.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Do you take the lead?
No, I'm a coward.
Raya looks at you dubiously.
Fine. Let's get this show on the road.
Raya steps into the tunnel, laser pistol raised, and you follow.
Time to test your perception. The perception skill represents your ability to notice danger,
Oh,
pick out fine
fuck's sake,
details,
man.
and search for hidden objects or creatures. Rolling for perception check.
Perception.
10 plus 4 perception bonus is 14.
You move cautiously down the corridor. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice that one of the large floor panels up ahead isn't quite right. Looking closer, you realize that it's actually been pried up, and some wires are poking out. Raya approaches cautiously to get a closer look.
Huh. Looks like these wires lead to an explosive of some kind hidden below the panel. Someone really doesn't want unexpected visitors.
The large floor panel spans the width of the corridor.
Do you try to disarm the explosive, or attempt to jump past the trap?
Fuck it, jump past it.
Do you try to disarm the explosive, or attempt to jump past the trap?
Attempt to jump past the trap, please.
All right, show me how it's done.
Time to test your athleticism. The athletic skill represents your ability
More
to perform
fucking
acts of physical
skills.
might and grace, such as balancing, climbing, leaping, grappling, and moving in 0G.
Okay,
Rolling for athletics
that's
check.
what it is. That's what it is.
14 plus 1 athletics bonus is 15.
You take a few steps back
that
and
good?
then run forward, launching yourself into the air. You land a few steps past the trap, taking a few more steps just for good measure.
Well, you certainly made that look easy.
Raya awkwardly launches herself into the air.
And dies.
The bomb suddenly explodes, blasting you backward and tearing the floor around it to shrapnel that punches through your armor. Raya absorbs the majority of the blast, taking 4 points of damage. You take 2 points of damage from flying shrapnel. Raya coughs and looks over at you.
Well, that could have gone better. At least the bomb is disarmed now.
Dusting yourselves off, you stand and continue down the passage.
Progress saved. 20% complete.
Conduits large and small run along the walls of the passage. Occasionally, sparks fly out from where equipment has been ripped away.
Wait. Do you hear that? Call me pessimistic, but I doubt that's the sound of helpful workers making repairs.
You continue, and the passage widens slightly, exposing a steel door to your right marked Diagnostics. It hangs slightly ajar, and you can hear muffled whimpers coming from behind it. The sound of clanking and scraping is louder now, but clearly coming from still further down the passage.
Do you investigate the diagnostics room? Or continue down the passage towards the clanking?
Continue.
You continue down the passage, and the clanking grows louder. As you round a bend in the corridor, you see that someone has pried open several access panels in the walls and ripped out assorted equipment, packing it into crates scattered around the floor. Suddenly, a green-skinned space goblin leaps up from behind one of the crates and starts firing a homemade laser pistol at you.
Rolling for initiative to determine who goes first.
Can you just tell me who goes
Plus
first?
2 initiative bonus is 7. Rolling for the other combatants. Raya fires her laser pistol at the space goblin.
That's right! Don't mess with us!
2 damage. The space goblin is wounded, then Raya takes cover. The space goblin advances 30 feet, then takes cover. Raya is next to you, and the space goblin is taking cover, 30 feet ahead. Each turn, you get 1 move and 1 action. Moves include advancing towards an enemy, falling back, or taking
Get
cover.
it.
Actions include attacking an enemy, using a healing serum, taking an extra move, and more. As your helpful AI, I'll
You lost
analyze
me.
the battlefield for
Just
you and
lost me
recommend
there.
a few options. If you'd like to do something that I didn't recommend, just say what you'd like to do and I'll see if it's possible. To start your turn, do you advance to melee range? Or fire at the space goblin?
Fire.
If your attack roll is equal to or higher than your enemy's armor class, your attack hits. Navasi, a quick question before rolling for attack. If you'd like to speed things up, you can turn on
God's
fast
sake,
mode,
get
where I
on
will
with
skip
it.
the dice roll details and jump to the outcome. Would you like to turn on fast mode?
Sure, yeah. Anything faster would be great. Fast mode, please.
Fast mode enabled. If you change your mind, just say turn off fast mode. Rolling for attack. 12.
That doesn't sound fast.
3 damage. The space goblin is seriously wounded. For some protection from ranged attacks, try taking cover. To end your turn, do you advance? Or take cover?
Advance.
You advance 30 feet. Raya emerges from cover and advances 30 feet, then takes cover. The space goblin fires at you. 2 damage. You have 8 hit points remaining. Raya and the space goblin are within arm's reach. Navasi, do you swing your tactical baton at the space goblin? Or fire at the space goblin?
Fire.
Navasi, as an envoy, you have a special ability called Get 'em. You inspire your allies and provide +1 attack bonus to hit the enemy that you are targeting. Critical hit. 8 damage.
Oh, no!
The space goblin is defeated.
With a choked gurgle, the goblin drops to the ground.
You don't have to narrate that
and
if I
Ryan are
hear
injured.
it.
You take a moment to rest and recharge. You are restored to your maximum of 12 hit points. Raya is restored to her maximum of 10 hit points. Do you search the goblin for valuables?
No.
As you turn away from the corpse in disgust, you notice that the goblin dropped something when he fell. A sleek black datapad. Raya picks it up and raises an eyebrow.
Now what's a goblin doing with this?
Another empty choice.
When the datapad's screen lights up, you find it contains only pictures.
Which skill do you use to try and identify the items? Science or technology?
What's the difference between science and technology? What kind of a question is that?
As you flick through the list, you immediately recognize that many of the pictures match the various stolen components packed into the crates. While it isn't surprising to find goblins stealing, it's strange that they appear to have been going exclusively after power regulation equipment.
Ooh.
And not the basic stuff either.
Well, it sells well on the
Heavy
black
ion
market, bro.
capacitors, high load voltage sag regulators. Definitely not the most lucrative components to fence. Somebody must be building something with a lot of power. Whoever put this shopping list together, you'd bet your last credit it wasn't a goblin.
Datapad added to inventory.
Right.
Progress saved.
Datapad.
40% complete. Continue or pause for now?
Continue.
Ahead, the corridor doubles in height, allowing access to a long wall crowded with pipes, several of them painted a glaring hazard yellow. Partway down the corridor, one of the pipes has ruptured and is spraying gas that pools along the floor, filling the corridor to head height before flowing away down a vent. For a second, you think you're seeing things, but no. In the dim light, the gas appears to be glowing a faint electric blue.
Radiation warning. The gas ahead is giving off significant radiation. It may be more than your suit can handle safely. While levels don't appear high enough to be fatal, it might make you sick.
The gas seems heavier than air. We could try to climb the pipes and go over it. Or we could just run through and hope our suits can handle it.
Nice.
Navasi, your radiation buffer will help you avoid the harmful effects of radiation. Do you try to climb the walls? Or quickly sprint through the radiation?
Tell me about my datapad.
I don't think I heard you right. Do you try to climb the walls? Or quickly sprint through the radiation?
Tell me about the datapad in inventory.
Inventory report. 2 fragmentation grenades, tactical baton,
Fuck's
laser
sake.
pistol, second skin, healing serum, radiation buffer, and datapad. Do you try to climb the walls? Or quickly sprint through the radiation?
I want to know about my datapad.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Fuck it.
Do you try to climb the walls? Or quickly sprint through the radiation?
Sprint through the radiation.
Raya gives you a skeptical look.
Through the radiation? Well, if you say so.
I thought you were taking the lead,
Trusting
Raya.
to your armor's environmental seals, you charge into the cloud of glowing gases. As you sprint through the glowing gas, you suddenly feel queasy and lightheaded. Warning lights on your armor glow red as you stagger free of the cloud. Raya leans against the wall, coughing and clutching her stomach.
I think maybe I should start making the decisions.
I did ask you to take the
Radiation
lead.
sickness from the cloud has given you the hampered condition. For the next 8 hours, you take a -2 penalty on all attack rolls, saving throws, and skill checks. That is why I, as your personal AI unit, am equipped with a radiation warning system, which you ignored. Progress saved. 60% complete.
Ahead, a wall of transparent aluminum splits the corridor. On one side, a heavy pressurized blast door stands closed,
Jesus Christ.
the light above it glowing red. On the other side, Observing the door through the window wall is a small control station, many of its displays cracked, but still glowing with data. Raya rushes over and begins eagerly examining the controls.
Looks like it's an airlock to a small maintenance dock. It's busted, though. It has to be cycled manually from this panel. Only one of us can go through at a time, but controls on the side should still be functional. I'll let you through, and then you can use the other set to bring me through. Oh yeah, and it looks like there's air on the other side. That's nice.
Do you go through the airlock? Or offer to trade places with Raya?
Repeat?
Raya gives you a skeptical look.
Through the radiation? Well, if you say so.
I'm gonna repeat the whole sequence.
Trusting to your armor's environmental seals, you charge into the
Echo.
cloud of glowing gas.
Skip.
Sorry, I don't think I heard you right. Do you go through the airlock? Or offer to trade places with Raya?
Offer to trade places.
Raya scrunches up her antennae.
You want me to go first?
Uh-huh, I'm a coward. I told you I was a coward.
Fearless leader. This one is all you. Besides, these panels are barely functional. You need me out here to work my magic.
She holds up two fingers, and golden sparks arc between them.
Hot.
The light above the door turns green as Raya triggers the controls, and it opens with a hiss. As you step into the airlock, the door behind you closes, and the one in front of you opens.
Oh, is that how an airlock works?
Stepping through the airlock, you find yourself in a small, empty shuttle bay. To your left is a large atmospheric containment door marked with hazard stripes and vacuum warnings, as well as windows showing the starry void beyond. A ladder on the opposite wall leads up to a small control station, but a nearby power cable has been severely damaged, throwing irregular showers of sparks across the ladder. Directly across from you is an airlock similar to the one you just came through. More immediately important than all of these, however, is the goblin busily packing crates in the middle of the room. She wears a bright orange pressure suit, and as you enter, she spins around and begins firing her homemade laser pistol at you.
Laser lockups! You can't catch us! We're gonna be downside kings! Send you lockups for a walk out the airlock!
You are currently under attack.
Do you fight back? Use the docking bay controls to vent them into space? Or try to bluff her?
Vent them into space.
Navasi, first you'll need to reach the controls. The ladder is an easy climb, but dodging the electrical arcs around it is going to be tricky.
You manage to judge the pattern in the electrical discharges and launch yourself past them up the ladder.
Is that bullet time right there?
Barely avoiding getting zapped.
Cool. All right.
You manage to scramble up to the platform with the docking bay controls.
Uh-huh.
Thankfully, it also has a safety harness, and you quickly slip your arms inside. With a warning klaxon, the bay doors open. The sudden rush of escaping atmosphere tugs on you, but the harness holds you safely in place. The goblin isn't so lucky. With a wail that quickly turns to silence as the bay's air escapes, the goblin and her crates are ejected out into space. If she's lucky, her suit will keep her alive until authorities can pick her up.
Well, that was easy.
Progress saved. 80% complete.
Congratulations. You earned the Vacuum Sucks Award for spacing the goblin threat. Keep playing to discover more awards.
Don't I
Keep
get like
going,
a cruelty
or take a break and
stat
come
or
back
something?
later.
Repeat.
Navisi, first you'll need to reach the controls.
Oh,
The
fuck.
ladder
You
is
can't
an easy
repeat
climb,
that whole
but
sequence.
dodging the electrical arcs around
I
it
just
is going to
saved
be
it.
tricky.
Echo skip.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Continue? Or pause for now?
Continue.
With the goblin threat handled, silence descends on the docking bay. You cycle the airlock, allowing Raya to step through. She looks around.
Seems like you handled this all right on your own. Maybe I should hang back more often.
Unlike the last airlock, the one on the far side of the room appears to be unlocked. You and Raya enter the unlocked airlock together and cycle it.
Alone at last.
Through the airlock, you and Raya find yourselves in a clean, cold room filled with glowing server towers. On the far side stands a Kasatha, a member of a mysterious four-armed race obsessed with tradition and custom. Like all Kasatha, he wears an elaborate mask covering his mouth, though the multi-hued head tattoos clearly mark him as an outlaw. He's busily dismantling a high-end capacitor, but as you step through the door, he whirls around.
What the? You're not Murgle.
The Kasatha raises his main arms, and magical sparks play along his matte black body
Fight
armor.
me. I want you on my team.
It's dangerous to get lost down here. You're about to find out how dangerous.
As an envoy, you can try to bluff him.
Do you fight? Or try and bluff him?
Bluff.
As you rack your brain for a way to talk your way out of this
I want him on my
situation without
team.
violence,
He sounds
you
awesome.
strike on two potential angles. On the one hand, station security seems to be reasonable, given the local violence. On the other, you could gamble and say you are with the Downside Kings, one of the local gangs.
Do you present yourself as station security? Or a gang member?
Gang member.
You put on your best sneer and order the Kasatha to stand down. You're from the Downside Kings, here to take control of this operation. The Kasatha's eyes narrow. He becomes visibly impatient.
Your childish attempt at deception dishonor us both. Fight.
You are the first to act. Raya is next to you, and the Kasatha is within range, 90 feet ahead. To use your tactical baton, get within arm's reach of an enemy. To start your turn, do you fire at the Kasatha? Or advance?
Frag grenade.
There are no valid enemies within 60 feet of you. Fragmentation grenades deal
What the
1d6
fuck?
kinetic damage with a
He's right in
15-foot
front of
blast
me.
radius. To start your turn, do you fire at the Kasatha? Or advance?
Fire. How fucking far do I have to throw a grenade?
1 damage. The Kasatha is barely phased. To end your turn, do you advance? Or take cover?
Oh, fuck it. Take cover.
To end your turn, do you advance? Or take cover?
Take cover.
Cover provides +2 bonus against ranged attacks. You move behind cover. Raya supercharges your weapon.
Supercharge online!
Then takes cover. The Kasatha fires magic missile at you. Four damage. You have 8 hit points remaining. Raya is next to you, and the
Magic
Kasatha is
missile?
within range, 90 feet ahead. You are behind cover. Raya has supercharged your weapons, making it possible for your next melee or ranged attack to deal massive damage if it hits. Navisi, do you hide out of sight? Fire at the Kasatha? Or advance?
Yeah, I'm gonna hide. Like I said, I'm a coward. Hide.
You can use your turn action to try and hide when behind cover. If successful, you become hidden for 1 turn and cannot be targeted for attacks. Also, you get +2 bonus when attacking from hidden. You are now hidden. Do you advance? Or stay in cover?
Stay in cover.
You stay in cover. Raya fires her laser pistol at the Kasatha.
Take that.
4 damage.
Curse you!
The Kasatha is wounded. The Kasatha fires magic missile at Raya. Four damage. Raya is injured. Raya is next to you, and the Kasatha is within range, 90 feet ahead. You are hidden. Navasi, do you fire at the Kasatha? Try to remain hidden? Or advance?
Remain hidden. Let her do all the work.
The Kasatha spots you, and you fail to hide.
Ha! Embarrassing.
Do you advance? Or stay in cover?
Stay in cover.
You stay in cover. Your stealth ends. Raya fires her laser pistol at the Kasatha.
You're no match for me.
The Kasatha advances 30 feet, then takes cover. Raya is next to you, and the Kasatha is within range and taking cover, 60 feet ahead.
Okay.
You are behind cover. To avoid being
Frag his
targeted and a
ass.
bonus to your next attack, try hiding. Navasi, do you fire at the Kasatha? Hide out of sight? Or advance?
Frag grenade. Did I lock you up? Echo?
Sorry.
Looks like it lost connection. Okay. Echo, open Starfinder. Please
Starfinder.
saved my progress. Please have saved my progress, for God's sake.
Resuming.
Thank you.
To use your tactical baton, get within arm's reach of an enemy. Navasi, do you hide out of sight? Fire at the Kasatha? Or advance?
Frag grenade.
You already used your action this turn. Do you advance? Or stay in cover?
Fuck it. Stay in cover.
You stay in cover. Raya fires her laser pistol at the Kasatha.
Alright, yes.
1 damage.
Demoricus, take you.
The Kasatha is injured. The Kasatha fires his arc pistol at you.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Raya is next to you, and the Kasatha is within range and taking cover, 60 feet ahead. You are behind cover. Navasi, do you fire at the Kasatha? Hide out of sight? Or advance?
Frag grenade.
All
right. It's 1 down. 1
Hit.
frag.
The Kasatha makes a save and avoids some of the damage.
Fuck you.
The Kasatha is injured. Do you advance? Or stay in cover?
Stay in cover like a fucking coward.
You are already behind cover and get +2 bonus to your armor class against
Why
ranged
did you
attacks.
ask me if I could stay in
Do you
cover?
advance? Or stay in cover?
Stay in cover.
You stay in cover. Raya fires her laser pistol at the Kasatha.
That's not fair.
Is that all you got?
The Kasatha fires his arc pistol at Raya.
Is that all you got?
2 damage. Raya is seriously wounded. Raya is next to you, and the Kasatha is within range and taking cover, 60 feet ahead. You are behind cover. Navasi, do you fire at the Kasatha? Hide out of sight? Or advance?
Frag grenade.
There is no fragmentation grenade in your inventory. Navasi, do you fire at the Kasatha? Hide out of sight? Or advance?
Fire.
Damage.
Cease!
It's a D4 pistol, you told me. How'd I do 11 damage?
Kasatha clutches at his wound, then drops to his knees and raises his hands.
I submit. You have wounded me gravely.
How do I do 11 damage with a D4 weapon?
Progress saved.
What the fuck?
90% complete.
You quickly tie the Kasatha's hands using cables from the servers.
Do you interrogate the Kasatha? Or drag him to the entrance and alert the Starfinders?
Fuck it, interrogate him.
Do you interrogate the Kasatha? Or drag him to the entrance and alert the Starfinders?
Interrogate.
The Kasatha eyes you nervously.
My name is Grex. I'm a simple mercenary. The Downside Kings hired me to do a job. Me and these goblins I know, Squeeb and Miracle. They gave us a list of components they want. All this electrical gear and a location. We've been working for 6 hours, pulling the components. I'm just here for the credits.
Do you ask what the gear is for? Or end the conversation?
End the conversation?
The server room marks the end of the road, and if Grex is telling the truth about his crew, you've successfully handled all the vandals. Leading the Kasatha by his bound hands, you backtrack down the hallways.
By his forehands.
Back out at the entrance to the maintenance corridors, you call the Starfinder Society and report. Within minutes, the Starfinder who assigned you the mission, you remember that their name was Chiskisk, shows up in person to take possession of the prisoner, along with 2 security robots painted in station security colors. They listen intently while you make your report, then smile and nod.
Good work. I can tell you've got what it takes to work with the Starfinders, and station security offers you their thanks as well.
Credit balance increased to 250.
You will need a mentor to guide you in the ways of the Society, and I think I know just the dwarf. I'll be in contact. In the meantime, I imagine this disruption will displease the Downside Kings. You can be certain they will be looking for you. Keep a low profile.
They nod to you in appreciation, then signal to the robots. The group moves out down the corridor with Grex in tow. As you look around the abandoned corridor, your heart swells with pride. This corner of Absalom Station is a little less dangerous now, thanks to you.
Hey, let's stop by Corebox and see what these society credits will get us.
Do you head to Corebox?
No.
You part ways with Raya and head back to your apartment, secure in the knowledge that while it may not be fancy, it also might not be home for much longer. There's a whole universe out there, just waiting for you.
Progress saved. 100% complete. Would you like to hear the episode credits? Or continue to episode 1?
Let's hear the credits.
Credits are a common currency used throughout the Pact worlds and among other groups that trade with them. Credits are often managed and exchanged using cred sticks. You can use credits to purchase weapons, armor, healing serums, and more at your preferred
I
retailer.
thought we were going to hear who made the game.
Would you like to hear the episode credits? Or continue to episode 1?
Hear the episode credits.
This episode was written by James L. Sutter, based on the tabletop adventure Scoundrels in the Spike
Aha.
by Amanda Hammond, from the Starfinder Beginner Box. Voice acting in order of appearance. Kevin Paizo as the narrator. Allison Johnson
Echo.
as Starfinder.
Repeat.
This episode was written by James L. Sutter, based on the tabletop adventure Scoundrels in the Spike by Amanda Hammond, from the Starfinder Beginner Box. Voice acting in order of appearance. Kevin Paizo as the narrator. Allison Johnson as Starfinder Chiskisk.
Okay, that's cool.
Elizabeth
Echo.
Evans as Riot.
Stop.
Okay. Just ask me to play Starfinder to pick back up where you left off.
Gotcha. Okay, wow, lots to discuss here. That was Starfinder by a company or a person, hard to tell, named Paizo Alexa Games. It had 4.5 stars out of 5 and over 700 ratings. I think it's been out over a year now on Alexa. And I didn't know at the time, maybe I didn't read the description, but it's based on a module, it sounds like, called Scoundrels in the Spike for a tabletop kind of RPG adventure game called Starfinder, and that was the beginner box. So I was kind of wondering why they leaned so heavily into all these stats and dice rolls, and they probably had to honor the original game. Let's start with what there is to like. I've played some of the other adventure games. They seem to rely on those Amazon AI poly voices quite a bit, with like a little bit of amateur VO. The VO in this is pretty top-notch. I'd say it sounds pretty good. Good, the writing's competent. You feel immersed in the story, yada, yada, yada. Good VO. I felt, what else can we say there? I did like that they told you that it was about a 30-minute experience, because you never know when you get into one of these adventure games on Alexa how long it's going to take. Although it was pretty wildly inaccurate. I've been here an hour, and they said 30 minutes. Having the progress updates is kind of nice, because you can kind of tell if do you want to continue or keep playing. They gave you a lot of good stopping points, which I think is really good for, I don't know if I'd call it session management, but it's like, gives you a convenient place to get out of a story game and then come back and pick up later. It has the save points. They said there was a fast mode, and I didn't feel I was really that much faster in fast mode. I guess the only thing they stripped out there was the actual dice rolling, which you never really want to hear in an Alexa game. It's super tedious, so I'm glad that they at least gave you that option. I think they should have sped it up even more. What was that game I was playing the other day? Dungeon Frenzy. I'm gonna go play that again after this, I think, because that thing was speedy. And this is it's okay to listen to a story, but you're here to game, right? You want to make some choices, and I just wish they had more choices quicker. I'm gonna start looking into sort of the stuff I kind of don't like. So, sorry, to begin with, I think the personality quiz at the beginning is always, that's in a lot of games. It's kind of a fun way to determine your class and your attributes in a way without rolling dice and applying numbers right off the bat. I don't think you want to do a lot of number crunching on this platform, either as a attribute generation system or combat role making. That part I'm going to start with on my complaint list is that the combat is just so tedious. Like, it's a tactical game, I guess, but you're in this, for some reason on Alexa, I just have very low tolerance for that. I think it's just this, if you're on a tabletop game of your friends, it's one thing. It's just like a little bit of a social to it. There's the visceral nature of rolling the dice is kind of fun, right? It's kind of like you're in a casino or there's a tactile quality to it. And then once, thank God computers came along and you don't have to do that anymore, and the games became much faster, right? When you're playing, World of Warcraft, I could see the numbers, but I don't have to fucking listen or wait for the calculation. Now, making people listen to the die rolls and the calculations and the plus ones or minus, and it's just tedious as hell. I wish there was a better way to do it. I do think Dungeon Frenzy did that. I'm going to go back and play that again. If you are into these stats-heavy sort of RPG kind of turn-based games, then maybe I'm just the wrong audience. If you're into those, I think it's a competently done, pretty much bug-free experience, except for one of the several of the utterances I think could have had more synonyms, so I don't have to say the 3 words that they told me to say. I can say one of the key words in them, but they didn't go there. I think they should have. Fictionally, I didn't want to play a sci-fi game and deal with goblins, magic, and orcs. Like, I don't want space orcs or space goblins. Go with, like, some sort of alien. He had a couple good aliens, but, like, fucking space goblins, like, lazy is what I would call that. Give me something more on genre. I want sci-fi aliens, not fucking fantasy aliens. And, like, magic missile? Okay, I guess you could span the, space wizard sort of genre, but I don't want to hear it called magic in the sci-fi world. And then they had some choices that were just empty. Like, it's the yes or no. Do you want to do this? No? Okay, well, you do it anyway. That's really annoying and frustrating. And then there's another choice that was like, do you want to use science or technology? But that's the fucking same thing. Like, what kind of a choice is that? That is another empty choice just skinned as a choice. Like, I didn't hear that I had a science or technology stat, so what are you talking about? Should have been science or, like, intuition. Something that's the opposite of the first choice, right? Like, that's a choice. What else is in here? And then the inventory system, just trying to get into it and then ask about it and then having it replay the entire narrative sequence that you were in is a bit much. That needs to be improved somehow. It's hard. You can't remember. I mean, they give you, frankly, here's how I would do it. They give you way too many items to think about. They should have, like, done a first-time user experience or a tutorial, maybe, where you start with, a laser and you're just firing it. Great. You learn the combat. And then, you picked up a frag grenade. Your next turn, it's like, do you want to frag or fire? And then on your next turn, maybe, hey, got a tactical baton. Do you want to do ranged or do you want to do melee? Open it up slowly over time. Don't dump 6 things on me that I have to remember. I have to fucking write it down on a piece of paper. People are going to be playing this in their cars. They're not going to be able to write shit down. That you need to access and use and cater to their short-term memory on Alexa. You don't, I can barely hold a phone number in short-term memory, let alone 6 tactical combat objects that I don't even know how they use. So I think that could have been paced out a little bit slower so that I would get used to using them over time. That's how I think I might improve that. Overall, I think aside from my sort of bitter gamer ranting that I'm doing as I'm playing this, it has the promise of a lot more content and play. I did 1 episode, took me an hour. I think they said there were like 6 or 7 or 10 episodes. I can't remember, but like, it looks like there's many hours of story and gameplay here, and it's not bad. I mean, I think it's better executed and better sounding than some of the other adventure games we've been playing here. What strikes me as odd is that I wasn't asked for an in-app purchase or a subscription anywhere in that hour. And that is really expensive content to make by paying all these, the writer, the VO actors, possibly the license for Starfinder itself. Like, where's this money coming from? Or, do these guys have, deep VC pockets? They need to start charging money somewhere. I mean, unless they're making enough money off Amazon rewards. But at 700 ratings after a year, I doubt that they are making the numbers. I don't know. Maybe if it's one guy in a garage who's doing all this, might be sustainable. But I'm not sure how sustainable this business model is of free, expensive to VO story games. And plus, QAing that thing and making it, that probably took them a number of months just to make that 1 episode. So I'm curious what the business model is behind this thing. Anyway, I'm going to say it again. So that was Starfighter by Paizo Alexa Games. 4.5 out of 5 stars it's gotten. 700 ratings. Just say to your Echo, Alexa, open Starfinder. That's how you get into this thing. All right, we're going to look at some more games tomorrow on Alexa. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you then.